Tiny fists, but it was the sound of silence that hit him first. Mark had seen a lot during his years juggling single fatherhood, tantrums in grocery stores, scraped knees on playgrounds, nights so quiet they felt louder than storms, but he had never seen two little girls standing so alone, so unnoticed, as the deaf twins in red dresses on that crowded, rushing sidewalk. People streamed around them like water around stones, umbrellas tilting away, ice sliding past. It was as if the world had decided they were invisible. And maybe they were, until the moment Mark knelt, lifted his hands, and signed the one word that would rewrite all of their lives: hello. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and small acts that change lives, please like this video, leave a comment, share it, and subscribe to the channel. It truly helps us reach more hearts like yours. The scene had unfolded in an instant, but something deeper had pulled Mark toward them. He had been rushing his son, Liam, toward the bus stop, rain soaking their clothes faster than they could dodge it, when he noticed the twins standing by the store window. Their matching curls were tied with red ribbons, their shoes dripping with rainwater, their little hands clasped over their chests as if trying to keep themselves from falling apart. Their mother, or who Mark assumed was their mother, was far behind, sprinting toward them with panic stretched across her face, but still too far to comfort them. And the crowd, heads buried in phones and umbrellas, simply parted around the girls without a glance. Mark remembered all too well the feeling of being unseen. After his wife passed, people had offered condolences for a week, maybe two, but after that, life moved on for everyone but him and his son. He remembered carrying a sleeping, feverish Liam through the rain once, soaked and exhausted, and not a single person had offered help. He had vowed, in that moment, that if he ever saw someone struggling like he had been, he'd step in. No matter what. So when he saw the twins, frightened, confused, and completely unheard, he didn't hesitate. He dropped to one knee right in front of them, water pooling around him, and signed hello with gentle, careful hands. And just like that, the fear in their eyes cracked open into stunned recognition. They weren't invisible anymore. Mark hadn't used sign language in years, not since caring for his own cousin, who had been deaf and isolated by a world that rarely slowed down long enough to listen. The muscle memory came back awkwardly at first, but the girls understood. Their little faces lit up, eyes widening, one letting out a small gasp, the other breaking into a trembling smile. In that moment, the rain didn't matter. The crowd didn't matter. The noise of the city faded into irrelevance, swallowed by the quiet connection forming between one struggling father and two forgotten children. Liam watched the scene unfold with his backpack still hanging from one shoulder, blinking through the rain as if trying to make sense of why his dad was suddenly signing to strangers. But Mark could see curiosity softening into admiration. Liam had grown up watching his dad choose compassion even when life had kicked him down, and though he didn't understand sign language, he understood kindness. By the time the twins' mother reached them, breathless and shaking, the girls were calmer, now communicating with Mark through simple signs. She stumbled to a stop, not even noticing the rain that soaked her elegant suit. Her eyes darted from the twins to Mark, overwhelmed relief breaking across her features. Mark lifted his hands and explained, slowly but clearly, that he was simply helping, that the girls were safe, that they had been scared but incredibly brave. She pressed her hand to her heart with gratitude, tears threatening to spill. In her face, Mark saw a reflection of his own struggles, a parent stretched thin, trying to hold everything together while the world kept moving faster than she could keep up. He didn't need her story to understand its weight. The twins clung to her legs, but their eyes stayed on Mark, filled with something unspoken. Connection. Recognition. Trust. Something about that moment lingered with him long after they parted ways. For days, he couldn't stop thinking about how easily those children had been overlooked, and how many others slipped through the cracks every day, unheard and unseen. It stirred something in him he hadn't felt in years, a desire not just to survive the world, but to make it better, even in small, imperfect ways. Weeks passed, and life returned to its usual rhythm, work, school, bills, but the image of those tiny red dresses in the rain haunted him with unexpected tenderness. Then, one afternoon at Liam's school, everything came rushing back. Mark arrived early for pickup and noticed a new family speaking with the staff near the courtyard. The twins. Their mother. And the principal. The girls were joining the school. The moment they spotted Mark and Liam at the far end of the yard, their faces bloomed with recognition. They ran, two small comets in matching dresses, straight toward him, stopping just shy of crashing into his legs. Their hands flew into excited signs, rapid and overflowing, and though Mark missed half of what they said, he caught the most important part: friend. Their mother approached, gratitude etched deeply in her expression, and explained that the girls had been talking about the men who spoke their language in the rain ever since that day. She admitted how guilty she had felt, how overwhelmed she had been raising twins with special needs, how invisible their struggle had often felt in the middle of the city's relentless pace. Mark understood her more than she knew. Over the next few months, the families grew close. Liam became protective of the twins, helping them navigate the playground, learning a few basic signs just so he could communicate with them better. Mark started attending school events with them, stepping into a role he didn't expect, someone who could bridge gaps, who could teach compassion through action. He helped the school implement simple sign language charts in classrooms, encouraged teachers to make morning greetings inclusive, and even volunteered for events so children like the twins would never feel isolated again. But it wasn't just the school or the twins who changed. It was Mark himself. He found a new sense of purpose through helping them, a healing he hadn't known he still needed. For so long, he had lived in survival mode, his heart buried under grief and routine. But the twins, with their delicate hands and fierce resilience, reopened something in him, something that reminded him that even the smallest connections can rebuild entire lives. Their mother, too, transformed. With Mark's support and the growing network around her, she no longer felt like she was drowning. She laughed more, smiled more, and let her daughters run freely into the world with confidence instead of fear. And though she and Mark exchanged many grateful glances, neither pushed the boundary of what their connection meant. It was simply enough to know they weren't alone anymore. Months later, on a warm spring evening, the school held a small outdoor event. Children ran between tables decorated with crafts and snacks, parents chatted with newfound ease, and the twins performed a short signed poem on stage, something that wouldn't have happened if Mark hadn't spoken their language on that rainy day. As they finished, they looked directly at Mark, signing thank you with both hands pressed forward, palms open. Mark felt his throat tighten, emotion swelling so deeply he couldn't speak even if he tried. Liam tugged at his sleeve, beaming with pride. It hit him then, how one small act, one quiet hello, had blossomed into something bigger than he ever imagined. Not just for the twins, not just for their mother, but for him, too. Sometimes the most powerful moments happen when no one else is watching, when you kneel in the rain, when you choose to listen, when you see someone the world has forgotten and simply refuse to look away. If this story touched your heart, please like the video, share it with someone who believes in kindness, and subscribe for more stories that remind us of the good still left in this world.